What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some breaking news, some updated news regarding Terence Bud Crawford and his future. Terence Bud Crawford has now been reportedly offered two fighters after being informed that the Errol Spence rematch will not be taking place. Another thing to note, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford rematch was going to be at 154, and Terence Crawford was choosing for the weight to be at 154. And so when Terence Crawford was informed by the Premier Boxing Champions that the rematch with Errol Spence will not be happening, will not be taking place, Terence Crawford was then offered two fighters that he turned down. Terence Crawford was offered the fight that he was initially seeking out after his July 29th Las Vegas, Nevada T-Mobile Arena mega showdown, undisputed welterweight showdown with Errol the True Spence Jr., the guy we all knew he wanted to face off against, which is Jermell Ironman Charlo. He wanted to fight Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo by the PBC was offered to Terence Crawford to keep Terence Crawford with the PBC. He then stated that he has no interest in fighting Jermell Charlo because Jermell Charlo was coming off of a loss to Canelo Alvarez after he dared to be great in September 30th, moved up 2 weight classes, and he was also offered junior middleweight superstar title contender Erickson the Hammer Lubin, who is 26 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 18 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'11" with a 75-inch arm reach. And Terence Crawford says he has no interest in fighting Erickson the Hammer Lubin because he's looking to fight guys with a title. So with that said, Erickson Lubin also has 2 major losses in his career. Back in April 2022, he got stopped in the 9th round by Sebastian Fundora. And back in October 2017, he got stopped in the 1st round by Jermell Charlo. Okay, so the Errol Spence rematch, Terence Crawford agreed to the rematch and agreed to have the fight at 154. Okay, so he chose the weight of 154. So for all the people that were saying Terence Crawford was trying to weight drain Errol Spence, no. He agreed to fight Errol Spence in the rematch, and he also chose the weight of 154. We know Terence Crawford, who is an undefeated 3-division world champion, 2-division undisputed world champion, and the reigning unified welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely acknowledged as the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. Terence Crawford has a record of 40 wins, no losses, no draws, 31 big wins by way of knockout. But he's 36 years of age. He's 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. He'll be 37 years of age in September, and he's looking for the biggest marquee legacy fights that's going to see him get paid handsomely in return. Erickson Lubin doesn't represent that. That's a very good fight, but they were offering the PBC stay busy fights for him. Also, Jermell Charlo, who is a 3-time junior middleweight world champion and former undisputed junior middleweight world champion, is now completely beltless. He has been stripped of the WBA title, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO. Okay, Jermell Charlo, to put it lightly, so they don't want to make him look bad and shed him in a negative light, they say they put him in champion's recess. But there's fights taking place for all of those belts. And we already know undefeated Australian superstar, son of a legend, Thurman-Tszyu, who is the son of Costa-Tszyu. Thurman-Tszyu is the elevated to the WBO junior middleweight world champion. Now, with that said, Thurman-Tszyu is going to face off against the former unified welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Keith one-time Thurman, March 30th. Okay, so Thurman-Tszyu is the target opponent for Terence Bud Crawford. He's 24 wins, no loss, no draws, 17 wins by way of knockout. He is 29 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. He has the same exact physical intangibles that of the fighter that Terence Crawford ultimately has his eyes and sights set on, and that's one 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who is the undisputed super middleweight world champion, and widely acknowledged as the face of the sport of boxing, and that is none other than Saul Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez is 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, but more importantly, he's 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. He has Thurman-Tszyu has a lot of similar traits of Canelo Alvarez. He's not as explosive. I don't think his ring IQ is as high as Canelo Alvarez, and he doesn't have combination hand speed like Canelo Alvarez. But he's durable. He's come forward. He has power. Their power is probably about the same. And so with that said, that's ultimately Terence Crawford's goal, is to become undisputed in 3 separate weight classes and jump up and have that legacy marquee mega fight with Canelo Alvarez. So Thurman-Tszyu fits the mold. Now, Keith Thurman is 30 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8", with a 69-inch arm reach. They're going to fight March 30th, Keith Thurman versus Thurman-Tszyu. This came out of nowhere, but it's going to be at a catchweight of 155. Thurman-Tszyu's WBO title will not be on the line. But if Thurman-Tszyu does lose, he will lose his belt, oddly enough. That doesn't even make sense, because Keith Thurman has stated he has no interest in fighting for the World Boxing Organization, better known as the WBO, because he doesn't even recognize them as a major sanction body. Hence the reason why he had no interest in fighting for the belt or fighting Terence Bud Crawford prior to that, right? So with that said, now the WBO has come out, and President Paco, they're saying that, the belt will be lost if Thurman-Tszyu loses. Now, I picked Thurman-Tszyu to win this fight against Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman has fought a total of 3 times in 7 years. Keith Thurman has been visibly and very noticeably hurt badly in his last 3 fights that he did have, which was Josito Lopez in 2019. In January 2019, he was hurt badly to the body, spit out his mouthpiece, and had to survive. Then he was hurt badly by Manny Pacquiao July of 2019. Same scenario and situation. He had to spit out his mouthpiece and run around the ring, all hurt to the body. And then his last fight against Mario Barrios, he was visibly hurt to the body once again and had to spit out his mouthpiece, and is on record saying if Mario Barrios was a better athlete and was just an overall better fighter, he might have dropped him and could have stopped him. That's how badly Keith Thurman was hurt. Thurman-Tszyu is bigger, stronger, more consistent to the body, and more durable than all of those guys. So it's said that Terence Crawford has his sights set on the winner, Thurman-Tszyu and Keith Thurman. Either which one of those guys is a big fight for Terence Crawford, but he wants to fight for the belt. So now here's the thing, right? If Keith Thurman was to beat Thurman-Tszyu and Thurman-Tszyu lose the belt, well, then the WBO president, Mr. Paco, they will allow Terence Crawford, Keith Thurman to be for the vacant WBO title. Right now, as it stands, Terence Crawford is in Puerto Rico, the home of, the home base of the WBO. He's going to be recognized a special ceremony for Terence Bud Crawford today, okay? And he's going to be acknowledged, and they expect Terence Crawford to petition to be the mandatory challenger for that fight. So he was offered the Erickson Lubin fight. Very, very good fight. I would love to see that fight stylistically. I think Erickson Lubin, who's a southpaw, who's tall, who's rangy, who has power, presents a much more challenge to Terence Crawford than Keith Thurman or Thurman-Tszyu, in my opinion. Thurman-Tszyu is consistent. He's durable. He hasn't lost. Keith Thurman is very inactive and shown weakness to the body, especially, and he lost. Erickson Lubin lost, but Erickson Lubin's styles make fights. His southpaw stance, I just think that would present a much more tougher challenge. Ultimately, the most toughest challenge of them all would be, in my opinion, Jermell Charlo, who knocked out Erickson Lubin, and I thought would have favored to beat Thurman-Tszyu, and definitely would beat Keith Thurman. Jermell Charlo is 35 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 5'11.5" with a 73.5-inch arm reach at 33 years of age, but he's just more fundamentally sound, more durable. Although he jumped up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo Alvarez and came up short, Jermell Charlo, he got dropped in the 7th round, lost a unanimous decision, didn't want to really engage. Jermell Charlo's style and skill set is still better than, I think, is the best fight at 154. So with that said, Terence Crawford is waiting for the win of this fight March 30th and turned down Lubin and Jermell Charlo. And obviously, he wanted Jermell Charlo, seeing as though Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo are close friends. They're stable mates. They share the same trainer, two-time trainer of the year, well-renowned future Hall of Famer Derrick James. And, that's the storyline. And it would have gave Terence Crawford the opportunity to be undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. But Jermell Charlo has been stripped of all his belts, and he's going through some personal issues outside of the sport. So that went by the wayside. So now Terence Crawford is simply waiting for the winner of this fight. He beats Thurman-Tszyu, Keith Thurman. That would give him, an argument to fight Canelo Alvarez, jumping up 2 weight classes. This will make Terence Crawford a 4-division world champion, undisputed in 2 separate weight classes. So Terence Crawford turned down Lubin and Jermell Charlo, citing that they don't have no belts. They don't have no anything to intrigue him. He wants to win at Keith Thurman and Thurman-Tszyu. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. He will be honored tonight, and let's find out what happens. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.